What's up, everyone? This is Mayan Gordon. We are here live at 5, streaming to LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. I hope you guys are having an amazing Friday. I hope you had a really fantastic week. And today, the topic of the live stream, we're going to be talking about some music because music is a really, really powerful thing. It has been for a long time, but its power and effect is only growing in our society and especially, I think, when it comes to business and in the business world. Of course, the way I've really noticed this is through TikTok, right? TikTok is the first app where music is so built into it, such an integral part of the system, of the platform, of the community, that it's starting to have these waves and these ripple effects that really reach into business, right? Such as bringing kind of what I call bringing the jingle back. Now, it's not the same as old school jingles where it was written with a piano or a guitar, but definitely brands are really thinking about what's a catchy 30, 15, 1-minute song that we could write that promotes our brand, because if it catches on, it goes viral, it goes wild, and can bring about not only a lot of brand recognition, but a lot of loyalty because people have an emotional connection and an emotional tie to the music that they listen to. In fact, that's one of the reasons why music's so powerful and why we like it so much is it makes us feel so much. Whether those feelings are feelings of sadness when you listen to those awesome sad ballads, whether it's super excitement as you're listening to some pump up music, or whether it's something that really represents the lyrics, really deeply connect with you in terms of what it means to you in your life and its significance. What's up, Randall from New Orleans? How's it going? What's it like over in New Orleans right now? How's the weather? Over here in Spokane, it is a blazing 90 degrees, beautiful outside. 90's a little hot for me. So I'm kicking it in my nice cool house today. Probably going to take the dogs to the Spokane River here 7 or 8 p.m. as it just starts to cool down. But if you're watching, definitely comment, where in the world are you watching from? What is one thing you're grateful for today? And how's the weather over where you're at? What's up, Kevin? Says continual blessings to me. I really appreciate that. We got Randall says he likes the Yabba Dabba Do commercial. I don't think I've heard that one, but there are some really great, honestly, I agree. When a commercial has a song that I like, and there's the other tell, right? Think about past commercials you guys have watched. Have any of those commercials that you've really loved, have any of those commercials had a catchy song? Is that maybe a huge reason as to why you really like that commercial? For me, that's very much the case. I like commercials either because there's a catchy song that maybe is a little funny, or again, the wording's pretty clever, or it's something that I thought was a really clever commercial, or sometimes it's just, right, like that's a really cool product I've never heard of, and so the first few times you see the commercial for that new thing, you get kind of excited about it and like it too. What's up, Mark, who says thumbs up, he's in Spokane, or maybe you're just saying thumbs up for Spokane. We got Steve, who says it's blazing hot in Florida. I can definitely believe that. Not only hot, but humid. I have 4 dogs. Kevin wants to know, how many dogs do I have and what kind of dogs? 4 of them. I got 2 pit bulls. I have a French bulldog, and I have a mini German Shepherd mutt. She's a Craigslist dog is what I call her. She was my first dog that I got when I was 19 after I dropped out of college and moved in with my boyfriend, who's now my husband. Thank goodness that worked out. And we got this puppy together that like bonded us, and I looked all over Craigslist. I had like a $200 max budget for this puppy. So I just looked all over, saw a bunch of pictures, messaged a bunch of people, and then when someone got back to me, I said, awesome, I will take the puppy. But I didn't know which person it was that I'd messaged. And so we went thinking it was one dog. It ended up being another dog. She ends up being the perfect dog. Super loyal, very, very well behaved. I love my dogs. That's cool. Kevin says that catchy songs help him remember and make connections. I completely agree. I think that songs can be really useful in learning, right? There's all sorts of educational songs. The Pie song, right? That's a pretty well-known. If you don't know what the Pie song is, look it up on YouTube. It's a song that literally can help you remember all 100 digits of the number pi, 3.14, ... And I think that the reason for that is twofold. Again, there's some emotional connection with music no matter what, because music, it makes you feel. And then outside of that, I would say when words are paired together in a way that sounds good or is patterned or rhythmic, and oftentimes lyrics and music are very rhythmic, right? There's a very set rhythm to the cadence, to the syntax, to where you're making pauses, where you're putting emphasis on words. And this is very helpful for you remembering and imprinting it in your brain and being able to recall it, because patterns are one of the things as human beings we love the most out of anything. We love patterns. We live patterns, and we absorb and observe patterns, or reverse that. We observe, then absorb patterns. All right, so I specifically want to talk about music a little bit in the context of TikTok. And I want to share with you guys an experiment that I've actually been testing. I started it about, I think, 4 days ago. This is probably day 4 or day 5 into this experiment, where I am taking songs from TikTok, the really popular ones, and I'm reversing them, meaning I'm completely reversing what the words are, what the sound is. I'm using an app to do this. And then I'm posting them with some of my most popular glass blowing videos that I've already posted. And I'm asking the audience, I'm asking my fans to guess and name that song. Can you guys name this song in reverse, this famous TikTok song in reverse? And it's crushing it. Honestly, I was super skeptical about whether or not it would work, because the songs sound bad. So when you reverse almost any song, it sounds interesting and different, but it's not good music. And that's why no one's ever come out with a real song that's in reverse, right? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. The pattern gets completely interrupted. But this is why I think it also works. When you're scrolling through TikTok and it's all songs, normal patterns, and all of a sudden you hear something that is so different, so out of pattern, it can make you pay attention to it. So I think it's good in grabbing people's attention. And then people love guessing games, right? People love to say, ooh, I know that song. Like, Name That Song is a classic old radio game that they've been doing with success for a very long time. And I think, one of the benefits to my age and my, I would say, generation is that I grew up both listening to the radio and past radio. I grew up and I had a Walkman. I grew up and I had one of those first crappy CD players where I had to walk really carefully. I had to go downhill about 1.5 miles and then back uphill 1.5 miles for school. I walked to school every day for certain ages growing up, and you had to walk downhill. You had to walk so careful and really brace your arms so there were no skips on the CD. I remember those first crappy CD players, and now everything's digital on our phones. But one of the benefits to that is I really remember a lot of the promotional marketing tactics that were used by some of these older businesses back in the day, and they completely apply now still in a more digitized, slightly more advanced technological state or application. So taking any type of radio game or radio promotion you've seen or heard of before and applying it to your TikTok, I think would be a really great and really cool strategy, or at least something to test out. Let's see, we got a couple comments here. What's up, Sayeda, if I pronounced that right? Is making an educational video about a business that focuses on teaching a language help when there are musical backgrounds, or is it better to have audios only? Oh, that is such a great question. When to use music and when not to use music. So I don't think there's any one answer to this, right? Some videos with talking are going to perform better if they have background music. Some are going to perform better if they don't have any music. I would say to gauge it in this way. One, is the audio without the music really good? And does it have flow? You want to make sure there's really no silent gaps or white spaces in your audio, because we get bored so fast. And if we hear silence or nothing happening for too long, we're going to skip it because of the audio alone. I would say, though, in terms of, I've really experimented with both a lot. I haven't seen a clear pattern either way towards this is better or this is better. I really think it's a case-by-case basis. If you can pick a good audio that helps in the emotional sense of what you're trying to educate on, then I think that's a beneficial thing. But you also don't want to detract from people listening to your voice in terms of what you're saying. If you're saying, here's how you do this math problem, or here's how you blank. Here's some information for you guys. You want to make sure that that's really easy for people to hear and digest as well. That was a really great question. Thank you. Aisha, awesome. Or Isha, awesome. Now I got your name. If you guys have any other questions about when to use music, just any questions about TikTok music, definitely leave a comment. Feel free to reach out to me here on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, any of those platforms. I'll throw up my email address here too. But the cool thing about music is it's so powerful. It's so much more powerful than the visual part of a video in terms of your visuals don't have to be that good if you nail the music. And when I say nail the music is not just you pick the trending song. It means that you picked the song that most adds value to your video, to your visual content. And again, that's a completely dynamic thing. There's not one thing that makes music good for video or visual content, but here are a couple things that can help or that you can pay attention to. One is, do the lyrics describe something happening in the video? So anytime you can match this up, you're going to see really positive results. Here's a concrete example of what that looks like. Let's say you're trying to teach about math. Throw the Pi song in the background. That's going to do pretty well. Or you throw a math song in the background that relates to it. That's step one. The next kind of depth or layer of that is going, I'm teaching a math problem about fractions. I'm going to find a song that's specifically about fractions and pairing that up. Again, because when people are watching something, it's almost like you're watching and hearing in two different time loops. And they're very closely matched. But the way I believe most of us process these two different loops in our brain is first visual, then auditory. Or sometimes reverse. Maybe you're someone, first you hear, then you see. But you're not doing both at the exact same moment. Or, I mean, you are doing both. You're not processing. You're not processing both at the exact same micro millisecond moment. One is happening a millisecond before the other. And because of that, there's a realization in between of, oh, or maybe it's a realization afterwards of, oh, these things match. And that realization is so satisfying to us when we go, oh, the words in the thing I'm watching, those are the same thing. How cool. And that's a pretty universal thing that we experience as human beings. So that's just like one thing you can look at when it comes to music. Another would be flow. Does the flow of the song, meaning fast, slow, just different moments of switch, does it have a switch up in it? Does that match the tempo and the flow of the movement in your video? So for example, maybe your video's slow-mo, right? So you want to kind of have some slow-mo music, right? Or if you have a song that's got like a speed up, right? A super speed where someone's like doing a bunch of stuff and you sped it all up so it looks really frantic. Using a song that's like a little more frantic and upbeat, those things work together. That works because that emotional connection is really being deepened through that pairing and that matching of flow. Let's see, we got a couple more comments here. What's up, Anthony from Vegas? Thank you so much for dropping in. I really appreciate that. Kevin, I am always happy to provide value. So, I don't talk too much about my ethos on value, but I'd love to do that right now real quick before we close out this live stream. And as always, if you guys have questions, again, especially about music or TikTok, hit me up in email, hit me up in the comments, hit me up in the messages. But what was the question again? Oh, yes. So I made a mental shift more than a year ago now. It's crazy to think how fast, who else feels like this year has gone by just super, super fast. But about a year ago, more than a year ago, when my glass blowing business was going down. So I shot up really, really well. We were making a bunch of extra money. I overinvested in the wrong place. And then we started to lose some money because of that overinvestment and just bad, not doing any financial planning or projections. Because I didn't have that skill set built up or any type of mentors to help me with that, which I do now, and so grateful and thankful for that. But I was working 18 hours a day, We had an employee who we were working full-time to pay his paycheck. Me and my husband were not taking any paychecks. We were actively losing money every single day, working 18 hours a day. And just every single day of that, I was thinking, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I cannot live my life this way. This is not sustainable. What am I going to do to like get out of this or switch things up? And I realized that it really had to be a huge flip on me not focusing on money in any aspect anymore outside of the financial kind of bookkeeping and understanding, like I have to make these numbers in sales to pay my bills. And once I did that, I didn't start making more money for probably 6 months. Once I fully made the shift, because it took me a couple months, honestly, to make that full mental shift from really thinking about money every single day as a business owner and operator and making money my first thought to making value my first thought and thinking about even what is value? What kind of value can I offer people? And that took a couple months to think about and wrap my head around, like, I have all these skills, but how do I turn skills into value? How do I turn knowledge and experiences into value? Once I made this shift, though, you guys, my life changed. And it did take a while. It took months and months of working very hard every day and committing to value without having any results to prove that I was right yet. I just had to believe it. And honestly, I felt it. I could see that it made so much sense to me that if I could figure out value, that money would follow. And ever since I made that mental shift of create value first, money follows value, value does not follow money, things have been amazing. And so if you guys ever feel like I could provide you with some type of value, just reach out to me. I am great at responding to my messages. I do have a lot of them. So sometimes I let them fall back to like a week. So if I take a week to respond to you, I apologize, but I will respond because then I go back through all my messages and check them all out. But really, in addition to it being in my best interest to provide value first and only focus on value, it also is what makes me happy. It makes me feel so good. When I'm on a phone call and I give someone some great advice, first of all, it feels great on that phone call. I'm like, that shit's really going to help out this person. But then when they message me a week later and they're like, hey, I took your advice and I did this with it. I acted on it. That feels so good. And they tell me something good came from it. It just feels amazing to know that you're important in the world, that you have value, that you're a significant person, right? Isn't that kind of what we all struggle with the most, is what is my place on this planet? What is my significance in this world? And I figured out that like all of our significance is the same, and that's to provide value to each other. Now, we do that in millions of different ways, but we're all the same. We all need to and want to provide value to each other. And when we do that, we come together, we're happier, we create more value that then makes all of our lives better. It makes all of our experiences better. And I've just lived through it in the past year, experienced the shift of it in such a profound way, mostly in my happiness, yes, in my finances too, but I think that that's a factor of value, energy, and focus. And my value and energy and focus are on creating more value for you guys, for helping you guys see more perspectives, for helping you guys see options that weren't there. I really see my role, and I'm really starting to understand my value and my role better and better every day. The more I talk with people, the more I try and put out advice and put out good things into the world and seeing what sticks, what connects and resonates the most. And I'm really, really good at getting people to go, you've given me a lot to think about. Now, I'm not good necessarily at really helping people. Not that I'm not good. I am good at it, but it's not the space that I live in. I don't live in the space of helping you organize your stuff. I help in the space of helping you see things you've never seen before. Think of things in ways you've never thought of them before. Because if you can think about one thing in a new way, you can think about everything in a new way. And that is just such a powerful thing, and dives really deeply into one of the things that I believe hardcore, which is that it doesn't take years to change your life. It doesn't take days. It takes a single moment. Yes, habits are built over time. Things are achieved and accomplished over time, but your life changes in a single moment that you feel in your heart, that you feel in your soul when something clicks. And I really think that because of that, there's so much hope out there. No matter what your situation you're in, just know you're literally one moment away from your life changing forever. And yes, once it's changed, it takes time to maybe catch up to that change, that internal change. The external takes time to catch up. But I've experienced it. I've literally talked to so many people who've experienced the same thing. And I also see a huge amount of unhappiness in people that they are hiding, that they are pretending isn't there. But you guys, I can tell, I can feel your energy when I'm talking to some of you. You're not happy. You're not truly deep, happy, excited, freaking loving, life happy. And if you're not that level of, if you're just like, yeah, I'm happy, you're not. You're lying to yourself. Being satisfied, being comfortable are not at all the same things as being happy. So I encourage you guys all to maybe reflect after this episode. Think about what makes you really happy. When are times when you've felt an extreme amount of elation, an extreme sense of fulfillment, and think about what even is happiness outside of all the other words we use to describe similar things like fulfillment. How does happiness differ from fulfillment? How does happiness differ from pleasure? How does happiness differ from excitement? Because maybe these are all things that are similar in your head. They're all the same thing, but they are not. And the more that you understand the differences between your emotions and between the things that you experience, the more you get to experience them, the more you get to enjoy them. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. As always, I really appreciate your attention. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate your support. If you found any value in this, it would mean a lot to me if you would share this. I definitely appreciate the comments, but the shares are what help get this out to new people. And I really do think there's a ton of people out there who have not heard the message that I'm trying to share about happiness, about connecting, about believing in yourself and really overcoming challenges. So you guys have a great Friday night. We will be back at it tomorrow, Saturday. And I hope that you guys really, really get to enjoy the rest of your night, get to enjoy your weekend, and spend some time with some friends or family.